Who are you, Bill Viola? I'm an artist who's been working with video and audio technology, with electronic media for the past 23 years. What is video art? Video art is fairly straightforward for me. It is using the technology, the machines, the material of video and making art. I think if you look at the term, it's a little sort of misleading and unfortunate that video, the word video in video art has become almost more dominant than the art part of it in terms of the short history of video. What is a videotape? Videotape is very different from installation in terms of video art, in the sense that videotape is more related to cinema, even though its basic material is very different. But it still is the organization of events in time. Making a videotape is a process very similar to doing a musical composition, which is also ordering events in time. What is video installation? Video installation is the use of video images and sounds in a real space. In other words, in a room. It's similar. The difference between video installation and videotape is similar to the difference between sculpture and painting, and that is that video occurs. Video installation is the use of space, of real space. You enter a room, there are projections on the wall, there are monitors in the room, there are sounds in this room, and the whole room, in fact, becomes part of the work, not a container for the work, but actually becomes an active part of the work. What is rhythm? Rhythm is the pattern of events in time. It's similar to proportion in architecture or in sculpture. It is also a fundamental part of the human body. What is an electronic image? Electronic image is an image that's created electronically. What is an electronic image? If you look at a photograph or a painting, you are looking at a still image. It is not in motion. The illusion in film that is created by the mechanism of cinema is the illusion of movement. Look at a film strip when it's not being projected and you see a series of still images, frozen images. The illusion in video and computers and the electronic image is the illusion of stillness. When you look at an electronic image, if you take a shot of a still life, let's say a vase of flowers on a table or something, and you shoot that for 20 minutes and you look at it, it might appear like a still image, but if you really analyze it and look at its inner essence, it's actually a vibrating pattern of electrons that are creating this image on the screen. What about silence? Just as in life, you cannot have life without death, you can't have sound without silence. What about perception? Perception is the way that we engage the world. It is our contact with the world. What about the right place? Once I started working with video, and particularly small video cameras, which were developed in the early 1970s, I realized I could take this camera anywhere that I chose to. Anywhere that I could physically get to, I could bring my camera with me. And I was trained as an artist to work in a studio. And once I started working outdoors, things changed a lot. And I began to realize that certain ideas I had really were connected in a very real way to physical places. And so I began to, a large part of the work that I was doing was sort of going out into the world, leaving the studio, going out into the world and finding the right place.
The one who hungers, the one who lends, the one who boasts, the one who prevents, the one who intervenes, the one who constrains, the one who mediates, the one who suppresses, the one who convinces, the one who disciplines, the one.
What about commercial television? Well, the American comedian Steve Allen once called commercial television chewing gum for the eyes. I think of TV as, in some days I think of television as a kind of drug. Other times I think of it as a form of pollution. The American writer Gene Youngblood has called it perceptual imperialism. But on other days I also think of it as a very important window to the world, a very important way that information reaches us in the privacy of our own homes, even though that information, of course, is distorted in some way. It's the nature of the medium.
Bathes the globe. This is the breath of the laws and songs and behavior. This is the tasteless water of souls. This is the true sustenance. It is for the illiterate. It is for the judges of the Supreme Court. It is for the federal capital and state capitals. It is for the admirable communes of literary men and composers and singers and lecturers and engineers and savants. It is for the endless races of working people and farmers and seamen. This is the trill of the thousand clear cornets and scream of the octave flute and the strike of the triangles. I play not a march for victors.